I recently acquired all 3 Arkham games on Steam for dirt cheap because they were on sale, and I have got to say that was probably one of the best purchases of my life because I am absolutely addicted to these games, and more specifically Arkham Knight. Now, I am fully aware of Arkham Origins, but unfortunately I wasn't able to acquire it, so because of that I will not be talking about Arkham Origins at all. Now, one of the reasons why I love Arkham Knight is because there is so much in this game. There is a giant open world map that you can fully explore. You get to drive around in the Batmobile through the streets of Gotham, knocking over criminals and electrocuting them. The Batmobile turns into a tank, and then you get to fight waves of tank, which is really cool. I love this kind of game, and I actually really enjoyed this part of the game. But not only that, you can take the Batmobile and do some racetracks, as well as some of the Riddler stuff. You have to race around. You have to race around the track. Not only is there a tank mode for the Batmobile, you get to actually use the regular mode and pursue cars around the streets and sort of race them, which is really fun whilst trying to immobilize them. You get to glide around the rooftops of Gotham with a cape and go insanely fast speeds that is just so fun and satisfying to do. You get to go up to criminals and beat the ever-living shit out of them. But not only that, there's an entire militia you get to beat up, as well as stealth gets so much improvements that it's so much more fun in this game than compared to all the others. And believe it or not, I enjoyed hunting the Riddler trophies, okay? One of my favourite things was used to be able to do the Roblox egg hunt, but obviously that ended ages ago. And hunting for the Riddler's trophies sort of brought me back to that nostalgia, and I kind of like games where you have to go and hunt for stuff like that. And best of all, the story in this game was actually really good, and I actually really enjoyed the story in this game. Also, Poison Ivy. So yeah, as you can see, there's a lot to do in this game, which makes it really fun. Okay, so before I go on to talk about the main story of this game, I think I need to mention one thing, and that is, while I am indeed a Batman fan, I am not a huge Batman fan. Before playing these Arkham games, Batman was more or less just one of those superheroes that I liked. I don't really know much about him, his comics, and I know that I knew his parents died, and I knew most stuff, but there was a lot of stuff in this game that was new to me. So please bear that in mind. Now, in terms of the actual story, I in fact did very much enjoy it. This was probably my favourite story out of the 3 games that I've played, although Arkham City, it might have a bit more of an edge to it. But I gotta say, I absolutely loved the Arkham Knight story. Especially the Arkham Knight. Now, like I said, I am not a huge Batman fan. I don't know that much about Batman. So, I did not know who Jason Todd was. I didn't actually know about Jason Todd. In fact, this was the very first time I got introduced to the character Red Hood properly, other than just seeing it in Gotham Knights. But I've never played Gotham Knights. I've just seen some few clips on YouTube. Okay, so this was my first time of a proper introduction to Jason Todd. Okay, so with that being said, I will say this now. The whole reveal that the Arkham Knight was Jason Todd was a surprise to me. But it only worked because I did not know. Having looked back at it and knowing it, it is so unbelievably obvious that I will agree, because I have watched other people's opinions on this story, that I will agree with them that this entire game, the entire story of Arkham Knight would have benefited from them have actually exposing that Arkham Knight is Jason Todd from the beginning. Okay? And yes, there is that entire movie studio section where the Batman is feeling guilty for Jason Todd because of the Scarecrow's fear toxin along with the Joker blood inside him, and that entire section did not hint me at all. I thought that was Batman having been afraid for Tim Drake, because this night, you can pretty much tell that Batman knew that this night was going to be his last, and so he's afraid. You know, it made sense. I won't lie, that actually makes perfect sense. And while it did in fact work for me, it wasn't going to work for other people who actually knew, and for actual Batman fans, which is why the story would have been so much better had Batman figured out it was Jason Todd, or been told it was Jason Todd, and then the rest of the story is just Batman kind of trying to come to terms that one of his greatest adversaries is one of his greatest friends. But regardless, I actually enjoyed the story a lot, especially because of the Joker. That is seriously one of my favourite and most funniest things is the Joker. He is so good in this game. I know a lot of people have complained about the Joker being in this game. I am not. It is actually cool to play a game where you have a companion who is following you around that is constantly taking the piss all the time. It's so funny, especially the moment when you like leave the Penguin's base and he's just sitting there. He's like, oh, I'll do it, Bruce. I'll take him on. And then he gets shot up and he just pretends to die. It's just so funny. I have laughed my ass off at Joker so many times because he's like one of the best parts of this game. And let's not forget Poison Ivy, okay? I'm gonna be real. Most of the reason why I like this game is because of Poison Ivy. I really like Poison Ivy. She's one of my favourite villains of all time. Is she even considered a villain? Because she's not in this game. She's on your side. You help her, and you know she's pretty cool. They nailed the voice actress for Poison Ivy. I swear to God, everything she says just sounds so.
And what if I don't want to?
But oh God, I love it. This was a great decision. No, I'm not gonna lie. It's kind of obvious now, but this Arkham Batman has pretty much become my favorite Batman now. It used to be Christian Bale, because I grew up watching the Christian Bale movies. But yeah, it's Arkham Batman, and you know, one of the things I love about Batman is the fact that he never kills people. And this Batman, he also never kills people. So yeah, I actually really enjoyed these games. And you know what? I cannot wait to see if they do anything else with Arkham Batman. See where the next take his story. What the fuck?